Hello, I'm Mitra Sorrells in the PhocusWire studio with Koert Grasveld of TerraPay. Welcome, Koert.
Thank you. Good for having me here again.
Yeah, great to see you again. I know, we've spoken many times in the past. Can you bring us up to date on the strategic initiatives that you're currently exploring for the travel division at TerraPay?
Yeah, happy to give you some insight. So 2024 has been a very interesting year for us again. We've realized that partnerships becomes very, very important in this complex world of travel. So we've done a lot of investment in getting the connections up and running with the largest players out there to basically simplify the connections with all these players we're having conversations with.
Okay.
So that was one of the key initiatives next to all the expansion that we've done on the product offering that we currently do.
Okay, wonderful. So what markets is TerraPay currently focused on, both for short-term and long-term growth?
So we've always been focusing into those regions where competition isn't that strong. So we started building in Africa, moved to Southeast Asia, and then LATAM. From a payouts perspective, that's always the bread and butter of the business. But since we moved into different product offering as well, virtual cards and mobile wallets, we've seen that those regions become just as interesting as our payout proposition itself. So on the short term, it would be LATAM. LATAM for virtual cards to have a local issuing, local funding capabilities. And then for a longer term, I would say, looking at the demand and where the industry is going, I would say Middle East and Southeast Asia, and then in particular China and Japan.
Okay. Very good to hear. Where do you see TerraPay maybe 5 years from now? Let's say 2030 approximately.
Always a nice question to think about. So, of course, we hope to be the dominant player that we are now in the regions where competition isn't active or not as strong as they are now. I would say we will become a very solid player in not only having payout solutions, but also working towards a mobile wallet proposition, which becomes more and more important for the industry. So I would say we are one of the players in the gigantic spider web of travel, where we have managed to get the right connections sorted to have a simplified solution for the travel players.
So you've just mentioned there about the mobile wallet, and I know I've heard you talk about expanding and optimizing around global issuing. How do you envision these sorts of expanded offerings really benefiting TerraPay's clients in emerging markets specifically?
Good question. So initially we basically came in and to basically target the market in order to fill the gap of the non-virtual card acceptance, because close to 35% of the business is still falling back to traditional bank accounts. So that's where we're very strong. Basically going down the line and having these conversations with our partners, we also realized that the virtual card proposition itself, smaller players have certain challenges, with volume commitments that they have to basically put all their eggs in one basket to basically avoid fines. Okay. So therefore we said okay, we're going to expand the offering into virtual cards. Initially, nothing new, nothing sexy, so to say. We just copy-pasted what the industry has to offer. But we just took a couple of elements out there, which is the minimum volume commitments, no maintenance fees, no annual fees, just to simplify the offering itself. That way we become a player, not to compete with the giants out there, more to become a fallback solution for the larger players, but also become an alternative for the smaller ones. And then we see as the unbanked or the underbanked regions like Africa, where mobile wallets are dominating, we see with the connection that we realized with almost 114 mobile wallet connections, that the payout proposition take for example as a use case, airlines need to refund their customers. We basically give them another alternative next to bank transfers and virtual cards, basically going through the mobile wallet route.
Okay. And how would you say that you see some of these products working together to really provide a seamless experience for users? Because of course that's what everybody's wanting, right? A friction-free, better experience.
True. Basically, by being able to offer all these solutions, you become a one-stop shop. So where the travel industry is already very complex. So all these players have to maintain all these different API connections to offer all these different solutions. So now we would basically say we will become an alternative for virtual cards. And you can say, okay, where there's the non-virtual card acceptance, you will basically fall back to the payout solution. And then if there is no bank account where you can basically fund to, then we offer a mobile wallet solution. So from there, you basically offer the full suite and have like 100% coverage from a payments perspective.
Okay. And finally, I would ask, for anyone that may be new to TerraPay, doesn't fully understand, what you're offering, what unique value would you say that TerraPay can provide that sets it apart, that differentiates it from competitors?
So the payout rails that we've spent 12 years building on it's a direct connection rail. So there's no third party on the rails that needs to have a share of the flow, right? So by having these direct connections is when you move funds $100 to Hong Kong, the receiver would also get $100. So there's no intermediary with hidden cost that takes a part of the fee. Then basically removing the volume commitments allows them to become more flexible, to have an alternative next to the solution that they currently have, and basically open doors for smaller players to basically have an offering that competes with the industry. And then combined with the mobile wallet connections, you basically have a global coverage through one API connection. Yeah. I would say that's sort of it.
Okay, wonderful. Well, it's wonderful always to talk to you and get an update on what's happening with TerraPay. So Koert Grasveld, thank you so much for joining us.
Likewise. Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.